Good morning and welcome, Patriot Radio News Hour. I'm Joe Jaquint, CEO of the Patriot Trading Group. And our toll-free number, 800-951-0592, the website, www. Remember when you used to say www.allamericangold.com, and how you doing here on the Front Range? I've been seeing people here the last couple of days. It's great you guys stopping by, saying hello, picking up product, and, you know, just chewing the cud a little bit. I tell you what, it is warm. Holy cow. I over-prepared. I absolutely did. It's actually gorgeous here in Colorado, at least on the Front Range. I'll tell you this. I'm hoping you guys get snow. I really do. Let it snow. Let it snow. Let it snow. It is the first day of December, man. 2021. I didn't think things could get any weirder, and yet, lo and behold, it gets weirder. Now we got Jim Cramer out. We got to talk about this. Yesterday on CNBC, you know, he's like the big personality, the head cheerleader, right? You know, he's the head cheerleader of the House of Cards and the debt system, right? He loves central bankers. And, well, let's face it, he loves America too, just not the Constitution and not freedom. No. He went on a rant yesterday that, yes, see, the anti-vaxxers are the evildoers of the world, and they need to be stopped. And we got to bring in the military.
Kind of rivals Howard Stern and Arnold Schwarzenegger, I guess, right? He's piling on.
Wow, everybody, yes. Hey, listen, I sometimes, you know, I get it right. And this is one of those times. I mean, a year ago plus, I was saying, we're all going to get it, one way or another.
Well, we're no longer wrong anymore. We can just retire that.
You are retired, yes. Yesterday, Jay Powell put to bed the word transitory. You know, and it's so funny, because you would have thought, where was the epic rant there, Jim Cramer? Where was it there? Wait a minute. You've been lying to us the whole time? Oh, you were screwing the American public, ripping them up, literally pulling money right out of their wallets. That's the great part about being a central bank. I wish I could be. Listen, I'm just envious and jealous. Don't misunderstand me. I am envious and jealous. Just pulling money right out of our wallets without us even really, you know, we don't even know what's happening. It's the invisible theft. Well, you know what happens when you go to the checkout, right? Then you're like, what in the world is going on? But it was just transitory. I mean, they said it for let's be honest. Think about Jay Pinocchio Powell. Remember, this time a year ago, he was telling us there wasn't going to be any inflation. No, they invented this brand new mythical unicorn creature. And I'm not talking about Omicron Prime. No, not that, no. This mythical creature. Yes, it's called, I can print all the money I want, and it's going to be just fine. We'll hand out thousands. We'll hand out millions. We'll hand out billions. No, we'll hand out trillions. Yes. It'll be fine. Don't worry. What could possibly go wrong?
I think Jack's got something for you.
Oh.
I am Omnicron, leader of the deceptive variants.
Wow. I'm fired up today. I am fired up today. I was here early. Jason gave me a key. So Jason's like, listen, I'm not getting up this early to just unlock the door for you. That's not happening. You know, Jason and I have different schedules. I get into work really early. Jason comes in, but Jason stays way later. I'm like, dude, I'm leaving. Like last
Yeah,
night, I'm like, I'm out.
Joe and I had a 2-hour meeting with Brian after this, after the Have Empty Cup of Joe, and that backed me up on my stuff. So Brian and I were here till 8 o'clock last night, buckling stuff down for the rest of the week.
Yeah, I was out here at like 5:30. I'm gone. Adios. But we got a great show for you. I apologize for my rant. Actually, I don't apologize.
Yeah, there's nothing to apologize for. You're not wrong. Just retire that.
But again, right? Where's the outrage? Oh, there wasn't any. No, matter of fact. Oh, don't worry, it's fine. Right? Well, I guess it's fine. You're right. You know what? For Wall Street, the millionaires and billionaires, it's fine. For the bankers, yeah, it's fine. Hey, the only people that take it up the backside, right? It's just the average dumb American who, let's face it, they don't normally listen to Patriot Radio News Hour anyway because they're too busy. They got the sports channel on, or they got the Bebop channel on, right? Or who knows, right? They're listening to their favorite cooking podcast.
Yep, I agree. That's America, the land of the distracted.
Yes, yeah, right. They're surfing the internet, right? Thank you, Al Gore. Holy cow! 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour. Joe Jaquint, Jason Walker. Man, I'll tell you what, it's going to be a wild. I got one of these. I don't know where we're going to end up today, but we're going to have a lot of fun doing it. We'll be right back.
I am Omnicron, leader of the Deceptivarians.
800-951-0592. You know what? Because I was going to go somewhere else, but since you played it, I gotta talk about Jim Cramer yesterday, and you know, I'll admit it. Maybe I'm jealous of him as well. He is the main personality on CNBC, and a lot of what he said when he goes on these. Right, remember we played the "They Know Nothing." Right, that was Jim Cramer. Right, back when. Remember, the housing collapse was happening, and that idiot Ben Bernanke was talking about, oh, it's contained, and it's just a subprime problem. Right? Think about all the lies these bankers have told us. Alan Greenspan. Well, yeah, there was irrational exuberance. I'm not going to do anything to stop it. But don't worry, we're going to have the debt paid off by 2010. Jason got all giddy this morning as one of the debt clocks rolled over $29 trillion right before we got on the air.
Right as we're sitting here, yeah.
Right before we got on the air, rolled over 20. But don't worry, by the way, debt ceiling, we got to get that done. As soon as that happens, sometime in January, we're going to hit 30 trillion. So what? Right? What could possibly happen? I don't know. Everything's going to cost more. Maybe that's what's going to happen. So Jim Cramer, on his Mad Money section, the Booyah Man, in case you don't know, he was out and he was discussing the financial impact of the newest and latest Omicron. The leader of the, what is it? Not the Decepticons.
The Deceptivarians.
Deceptivarians.
The Deceptivarians. Jack just made up a new term. Boy, Deceptivariant.
And he had this to say. The federal government needs to require vaccines, including booster shots, for everyone in America by January 1st. It's time to admit, Cramer said, that our government has lost the ability or the will to make our people do the right thing. Well, whose right thing? Oh, your right thing? The banker's right thing? The government's right thing? I thought this was the land where the people were free. But no, apparently that doesn't apply now. Because, well, let's face it, I don't know, maybe his banker buddies are going to get upset. Nobody wants to be the bad guy. So we have allowed this, uncoordinated health organizations to do dictates and edicts. This on-again, off-again series of measures that mostly just leave us baffled and confused. Slamming the anti-vaxxers, right, as comparing COVID to polio. And I'm not kidding. Talking about the toothless OSHA mandates and the fact that some of these big companies, Jason, were now going back and saying, you know what? We're not going to force the vaccine, man. Never mind. We're not doing it. So he's upset and says that we should bring in the military to get this done.
FEMA camps.
And I'm just sitting here and he really talking about, hey, if you don't want to get it, then you need to stay in your home and not come out.
You have to win in court for that.
Right. If you want to fight it with your, hey, I'm a, what do they call it? A conscientious objector. You're going to have to prove your case in the military court.
I agree with one thing he said. There's one thing I actually agreed with. He said the bad guy that will have to enforce this. That's exactly how I see it.
Nobody wants to be the bad guy.
Yeah, it is a bad guy that will enforce this. I agree with him. It's a bad guy that will enforce vaccines on people.
And again, it's such a fine, small step because you got to remember, at least with the polio vaccine, and I'm not going to get into the whole polio vaccine thing, Jason.
Don't worry. I'll be nice.
At least that vaccine actually stopped you from getting it, and it stopped you from spreading it, right? It essentially eradicated polio. Since Jim Cramer wants to use that analogy. Okay, sir. The problem is, and this is really truly the problem. Number one, and I'm not even going to go into, we didn't even test it, right? We just skipped all the steps. It's so funny when we created all of these things like the FDA and we had policies in place about how drugs could get approved. And of course, if you want any inkling of how corrupt the FDA is, just watch the movie Dope Sick or the series with Michael Keaton. You'll see it for yourself. But setting all that aside, like I said, at least in the polio vaccine, you didn't get it, you didn't spread it. And he's acting like, as he's making his grandiose little speech on TV. And the real reason I'm fired, he's important. People actually listen to him. Jay Powell listens to him.
That's not good.
And he's talking about, he's acting like, oh, well, if you get the shot, you don't get COVID. Yeah, you do.
Maybe he has vaccination remorse. Maybe he read something on our site. And
if you get the shot, somehow you don't spread it. No, yes, you do. If you get the shot, you go to the, you do. Now, granted, hey, at least so far, full disclosure, so far, those that get the vaccine have gotten less sick. But the number keeps shrinking, right? And now, of course, now you got to get the booster. Now, according to the Moderna CEO, this new one, it doesn't look so good. We gotta have another vaccine, right? Just another reason, right? They can make countless amounts of money, right? Keep printing. Pfizer, by the way, the most money they're gonna make probably ever. Right? They're saying 30 years. I don't know how long Pfizer's been around, but record profits coming from them. But again, this is where we've been heading, slowly but surely, right? The central bank has been robbing our wallets and lying about it, right? Again, let's face it, this inflation is as bad as it was in the 70s, and I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to get worse. Maybe Jay Powell buried transitory yesterday because he knew what I'm going to tell you next. Remember the lumber prices?
Oh, yeah.
You know, remember that?
They jacked up real high, and then when they came back...
they're going to come back down. See, I told you it was transitory.
But it was still up 100%, even when it came back.
Well, right. It was still way... Well, guess what? Lumber's back. Not quite at the all-time highs, but back to the June highs in lumber.
Like a sequel.
Yes. They're saying that lumber shipments from Canada have fallen 30% in the second half of November. They're saying pulp shipments down 20%. And, of course, well, what happened? Well, they had bad weather. You know, we got problems. Lumber... $825 per 1,000 board feet.
Is that a high?
It's not the high, it's 1,000.
It's getting there.
So it's close.
It's getting there.
But again, lumber right now normally, go back to 2019, 2020 probably was even lower because of COVID. About $200 a board foot.
Yeah. That's only 400%.
Yeah, don't worry. It'll be okay. But let's just get rid of the word transitory. And just get with the word that it's going to be. We are going to suffer from the worst inflation that we've ever seen. Here's the thing. The data will still be able, because they don't track it like they used to, they'll still only be able to say, and I don't know what it's going to get to. I mean, the last number was 6%. And remember, they created the 2% inflation target, remember?
Yep.
Right. That was Ben Bernanke and Janet Yellen.
Maybe we should go to one of their new terms, the new normal.
Yeah,
maybe that's
the new normal.
Maybe inflation is the new normal.
You know, Jay Powell, don't worry. Hey, there's no inflation. Oh, it's just transitory inflation. Okay, it's just inflation.
It's the new normal.
You know, is it going to be 8%, 10%?
Just get used to it.
You know, and it's just like I said when I was flying up here yesterday. The airport workers are on strike in Phoenix. Why? They need more money.
Yep.
This is the problem. Listen, $15 isn't enough.
You go to the store and you get a 5-pack of steaks. It's $80. I was watching a guy yesterday. I'm serious. The guy.
I don't mean to laugh, but come on.
The host. I don't want you to say what show it is, but the host says, you know, I can afford inflation. I'm one of those guys that can afford inflation that we talk about on this show. He's like, but I had to put it back. I could not bear to buy a 5-pack of steaks for $80.
You know, and I don't know how all of this is going to end. Well, actually, I do know how it's going to end. Here's how it's going to end. The central bank eventually is going to be forced to raise interest rates so high that it all comes crashing down. That's how it's going to end.
There's that cheesy movie that Tom Cruise did in, I think, the early 90s, Cocktail. Did you ever see that movie?
Oh, yeah. And he'd read all these books about how to become rich.
Now, he gets the rich girlfriend, but it doesn't really work out. It's not, it's not his true love thing, right? And they break up at this bar or something that they're at. And the girl comes running out. She's like, it's just some rich girl that he shouldn't have been with. She's like, I don't want it to end badly. And then Tom Cruise, I think it's a brilliant line for a cheesy movie. He's like, it always ends badly, or else it wouldn't end.
I'll say this, too. I got bad news for housing. I got bad news for your stocks because this thing is going to be devastating. Wolf Richter did another great thing. All of the housing bubble. Remember the housing bubble? All of these numbers are way past that now. Denver actually, they really said Denver didn't really have a big housing bubble the first time around. And now they've got this, Wolf Richter had this chart today, right? I mean, it's just prices straight up. But he had Phoenix and L.A. and places like Portland. Like, who the hell would want to move to Portland, right? And these prices just through the roof. I know what's going to happen. That's why I tell her, you know what? If I was a homeowner and I had a bunch of equity in my house, I'd go get it right now. I'd go get it. That's what I would do. Get it.
Not to mention that the Chinese housing market, $62 trillion, is cratering, and how that's going to be contagion because they buy properties here, and they know that they can get money. If they sell their stuff here, lower the prices here, they're going to get these companies in China. They need to get their money.
Believe me when I tell you. Now remember, why did they tell you that it was okay? The Dow's at all-time record highs, and PE ratios are all-time record. Like every metrics is at an all-time record high. Well, because interest rates are zero. Because the central bank has an easy money policy. Well, Jay Powell, at least yesterday in his testimony, said, hey, we're probably going to speed up taper. Let's bury transitory. Okay, let's put that in the grave. And it's going to take more than a couple of quarter of a points to get this genie back in the bottle. And it's going to be worse than what we saw in the financial crisis. 800-951-0592. Gold's up, $11-12 here, $17.90. So we're kind of back, where we were last week here after remember, the gold sold off because Jay Powell got renominated. Well, that was the quote-unquote reason, they wanted to see, look, yeah, great, Jay Powell. Then he comes out a week later. Hey, by the way, all that stuff I've been telling you, that was a lie. That was a lie. Gold's reacting to that today. We've had $20 gold pieces. Here's the good part. We still have them, which has been few and far between. Silver Eagles, I got no good news for you. There's nothing out there. We could buy some back dates, but they're super expensive right now. The silver side of things, we had $50 on sale, blew through all of those. Things are definitely, like everything else. You go to the grocery store, you buy what they've got. The best buy on the table, still $20 gold pieces. Libs or Saints, I still got some Saints, which is, I'm surprised. But at $2,095, and now all of a sudden we got gold going the other way, and it's going to continue. Listen, inflation is here. Here's the problem. Inflation was here a year ago. They were just trying to say it wasn't here, right? And they have all of these fancy charts and graphs where they track. I don't know what it is they're actually tracking, but they track something, right? They've got the rent equivalent data. Yep. where they call homeowners and they make sure that these homeowners don't have rental properties, because if they had, got to adjust my chair, if they had rental properties, they would know the answer. So they want to make sure you don't know. And here's what they ask. Again, they don't check. We've got mega apartment complex. And I don't mean just one apartment complex. These companies own hundreds of apartment complexes across the country. Right. I would think that'd be a good place to call. Hey, let's call those guys. Yep. Hey, how's your rents? Are they higher? Lower? What's going on? Oh, that would make sense. No, because why? They don't want the truth. What was that movie? A Few Good Men. You can't handle the truth. Well, here's the reality. We are handling the truth. The people that can't handle it are the people that have built this house of cards, because, again, it's built on a lie. Yep. It's built on a lie. So how do they track what's happening? Well, they call people that don't rent anything. In other words, I don't even rent my home, but I live in this home, but I don't rent it. And they ask them this question. Well, what would you pay? What would you pay? Yeah. Not, hey, what would be the going rate? Because they don't know. Well, of course, what do you think they're going to say?
Pretty much our mortgage price.
Right, or something lower. If I was to rent, I'd only pay $2,000 a month. Oh, well, you've got a 3,000 square foot home, 4 bedroom, 3 bath in Scottsdale, and you'd only pay $2,000. Well, here's the problem. The 3,000 square foot, 4 bedroom, 3 bath home in Scottsdale rents for about $5,000, $6,000.
Yep.
But they said $2,000, so let's, hey, everything's wonderful. And it's amazing. Because they spent all of this work. They do all this work. I mean, they got the MIT Mafia. They actually get MIT grads to write these, probably super sophisticated Excel spreadsheets to track absolutely nothing. I'll give you a great example. My oldest son, Joey, he's an advertiser here. Right? If you're looking for someone to handle your 401ks or anything like that, IRAs, give my kid a call because he's the best around, believe me. And he works for a company that doesn't believe in charging fees. But he went, as part of his coursework. And as all of you know, he went to school in Chicago. His business class, they went to the Chicago Federal Reserve. And they were in, and they had a guy, and it just so happened, it's a true story. If I'm lying, I'm dying. They went and had a discussion on inflation. True. So the guy comes out, and he's trying to tell these college kids on how they track inflation. And my son says to me afterwards, because I was all kidding. I was all like, federal, I would love it. Dad, it was the dumbest thing I had ever heard. They sat there and tried to explain why tracking the actual price of something did not mean there was inflation. And it made absolutely no sense. That they actually know the number. But then they spent all of their efforts to try to come up with another number and some ridiculous justification, some really smart English majors from Yale and Harvard to create this mythical thing so they could tell us that inflation. Remember now, for like 15 years, isn't it ironic? After they came up with the 2%, that's their sweet spot. They said, "Hey, we just want to." Now, I want you to understand what that means. We just want to devalue your money by 2% every year. That was their quote unquote goal. Which, of course, we'll multiply that for 10 years. You'd lose 20% of your money. How does that sound? That sound pretty good? And of course, Jim Cramer. What was Jim Cramer doing? Oh, yeah! That's so good looking. Oh my gosh, 2%. Yay!
Yep. 2 + 2 = 5.
Right, now he wants to call out the military.
Yep.
Welcome to America.
You have to have that formula, Joe, to trick the people. In the book 1984, that's where 2 + 2 = 5. That was actually in that 1947 book. He's like the bureaucrats and the politicians and the economists. 2 + 2 = 5. But when it comes to actually building something, where something actually has to be done, it's 2 + 2 = 4. But for everybody else, 2 + 2 = 5, Joe. And that's what they were trying to teach your son.
The funny part about all of this is for 15 years, almost 15 years, after they came up with this ridiculousness, and of course they knew that they had already rigged the number, they tried to pretend that inflation was below 2%. Patriot Radio News Hour. You know what? Don't call. Don't put your gold away. It'll be fine. Don't worry. Everything's your house is going to keep going up. Stocks are going to keep going up. It's going to be great. You don't need any protection. 100-951-0592. U.S. $20 gold. This is the old pre-33 private, non-reportable, non-confiscatable U.S. gold. Yes, that ancient, barbaric relic. it's only been money for, I don't know, thousands of years. But, yeah, you don't want that. Go out and get your electronic Bitcoin, and let's see how it does. We got $20 gold, $2,095. And why do I got a funny feeling let's face it, gold had a good run 2019. 2020 took a little breather because, they want to believe Jay Powell. Jay Powell's a proven liar. I mean, he just proved it again yesterday.
It's sort of what that position entails.
Well, it really does.
It's a qualification to be hired on.
You got to be liar, liar, pants on fire, right?
You can't lie. No, you can't hire you.
Put them away. 2095 800 951 0592. The other day we butchered it. Jason was talking about the debt clock for an ounce of gold. Now remember, when they made these, think about like the Liberties, 1866 to 1907. You guys remember the Great Inflation between 1866 to 1907? Anybody? No?
There's none.
Nobody? Interesting. Do you know that for every dollar printed, there was gold behind? For every $20 they printed, they minted one of these gold pieces.
Yep.
Our currency was interchangeable. Now, almost what is $21,000 in change for an ounce of gold. So think about really when we talk about where can gold go. And I don't like doing that because, it's going to be terrible. And that's why I always say, when's gold going to be 3,000, 4,000, 5,000? I'm like, you know how bad that's going to be? But right now, to get back to that, 21,000, almost 22,000.
And it's not really that gold is doing so good. It's just that the currency is so debauched and so horrible. I mean, I just said the steaks. You need to have 4 of these old gold coins to buy 5 steaks now.
Now, think about this.
$80.
So $80 for a pack of steaks.
5 steaks.
Okay, 5 steaks, $80. Go all the way back from the 1800s all the way to like 1933. You could take a $20 gold piece and buy the whole cow. The whole cow.
You need 4 of them to get 5 steaks.
Now you need
by the face value of the coin. 4 ounces of gold, 5 steaks.
Can
you imagine if you went back to the 1800s and told someone, give me 4 of those coins so I can give you 5 steaks? You'd be like, what are you, nuts? You're nuts?
And again today, a $20 gold piece probably get the whole cow, right? Pretty close.
Yeah,
pretty close.
Pretty close.
And they've created this elaborate deception. I mean, so elaborate. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, they do things the mafia would be like, okay, well that's just wrong, right? We wouldn't even treat you that bad, And the mafia, they got to get their thing, And they continued to dumb us down, and now we got to start starting at 3 years old, sending your kid to school. I was a product. Listen, I only went to kindergarten half a day. Okay, I was a half a day kindergarten kid.
Me too.
So I'm probably just super dumb. Okay, and I don't know anything. How about this is how dumb they need to make. How about I can't make these stories up. To help Portland public school educators and students to adjust to the stresses of resuming full-time in-person classes. The union representing the district teachers is proposing canceling in-person instruction for high schoolers 1 day every week, starting after winter break. Yeah, see, coming to school 5 days a week.
What does that tell you about the importance of high school?
It's just too stressful, How about that? Let's just take a day off,
It doesn't matter anymore, does it? It really doesn't matter. Just go down to 3 days. Is it really going to
Right? 2 days. You know what? Who needs school?
Just as long as that money gets passed from the, from the government to that
We
school.
still want all the money, yes.
As long as the money's there.
And I only point it out because this is how quickly things have changed. This is an actual proposal from the union. Hey, you know what? It's really stressful out there. And I get it. It is stressful because you know what? A 5-pack of steaks is $80. Yeah. That's freaking stressful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Because they know, the landlord just jacked up my rent another $700 a month. I got to find a new place to live. And guess what? The only place to live is down where they're burning and looting everything.
Yep. To make it worse, I think kindergartners in the near future, they're going to have a cap and gown ceremony when they get out of kindergarten because they're going to have 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, and 5-year-olds. They'll be kindergarten graduation. If that's what Biden wants, it's coming. That's part of that package they passed.
I say we give the teachers of Portland a trophy. Just give them a participation award. Let us suck it up there for everybody.
Kindergarten graduation. Put that on the wall. Such an accomplishment.
Listen, did I tell you the price of the $20 gold pieces yet? $2,095. 800-951-0592. A final segment coming up. Look out your door. Has the military showed up yet? Are they on their way? Where's the National Guard? 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour. Final segment here. What is it Wednesday?
It is Wednesday, December 1st.
Hump Day Wednesday. Joe Jaquint, Jason Walker. The special today, U.S. $20 Liberties and Saints at $2,095 at 800-951-0592. And, wow, you better hurry up on those Saints. I just got notification from the world's largest wholesaler. They're trying to find any ungraded Saints they can get their hands on. So 800-951-0592. And again, the whole thing built on misconceptions. Let's dazzle you with things that aren't real. Use the media to give it credibility. Right? Use the media to give it credibility. Create these bubbles. And listen, if you don't believe we're in a bubble, then I can't help you. You're naive and you deserve to lose. Truthfully, you deserve it. If you can't figure this out. 5-pack of steaks, $80. We got a problem.
Fake like crypto. I'm looking at this crypto again, Joe. It's interesting.
Listen, crypto's just a couple of millionaires buying stuff. And again, I love crypto because crypto is another symptom.
Yep.
Truthfully, it's a symptom. Why are they buying crypto? Because I don't want to have dollars.
$21,637 per ounce of gold for the dollar. Crypto's only $7.
There's a lot of crypto coins.
$7 per dollar. But check this out, Joe. In 2013, it was 9,871 crypto to each dollar. No. A whole lot of cryptos out there, man.
A lot of them.
Maybe not as small as a market.
But again, I love crypto because it's the idea of, hey, we don't want a central bank.
Yes.
I mean, I believe. Now, there's a theory out there that I'm getting behind. Because I forget the guy they say is
some Asian guy.
An Asian guy is the creator.
Always an Asian guy when it comes to numbers. Yeah.
No one knows who it is. Another one of these mythical creatures.
And usually the only things that are secret are government.
Right? Is this the government and the central bank to get everyone used to digital?
When you see 9,871 crypto to each dollar,
could be.
Now it's only 7.
It's the first time I heard it. That was today. And I want to say one of our listeners brought it to us, and it's brilliant. It really, truly is brilliant. But I'm not bashing the crypto because I love it. That's why I tell everyone, buy gold. Because gold takes the power away from the central bank. And it's real. You can feel it. You can touch it. You don't have to worry if you lose your password. Or
no third-party risk. No third-party risk.
No hacking.
Crypto has third-party risk. They say it doesn't, but crypto has third-party risk. That's the big difference between crypto and gold is there's third-party risk no matter how secure they say it is.
Well, now the government wants to regulate, which, of course, you know that's coming.
The government's always the third party, isn't it?
There's all the risk you need. And again, I think interest rates. Oh, man. Are we going to see a 10+% Fed's funds rate again?
Maybe next year, Joe.
800-951-0592. God bless everybody, and Patriot will be back tomorrow.